to build the case. Did you have, before we conclude, because it's more my interest, did you have like an anti or counter surveillance protocol, or maybe not use a cell phone? Did you switch up cards? Did you play the radio all the time? You were kind of.
Well, I had one time said something, and a room full of agents looked at each other because I know that they must have said, like, how did he? And when I say I knew, I didn't know. I assumed that when we were meeting somewhere or something serious was going on, I would drive around and not only look on the main, like, let's just say the main avenue or the main road. I would go and look in the back of the banks and in the back of the parking lots and stores, like, because I know that they would have a meeting point of where, like, a staging area of where they would stage. And they never confirmed it, right? They never said, oh, you're right, we do that. But I could tell by their looks on their face that they must have said, like, how the hell did he know to do that? Because they would stage. And, I was very careful on the phone, very careful, and would hang up on people. Because they would just people, and I'm not only talking about Wiser. I'm talking about one time I hang up on one of my uncles that said something, and I hung up the phone because you never know what they're going to turn into something, Tom. So I just hung up the phone on them, listen, anybody today, and it just amazed me in the story that I wrote about the Columbus with Joey Amato, how do you people get caught on the telephone on wiretaps in today's time after all that in history, all the cases? How do you get caught on the telephone today? You got to be crazy. You got to be crazy to talk on the phone. Yet they talked, and they were talking on burners, and they had the burners. The burners phones that they had those too. Like, so here you are on a phone that you think, like, oh, you know what a guy told me one time? Oh, put WhatsApp. Wait, watch this one. I says, why? Oh, because, the FBI, they can't get into it. Are you kidding? They probably created WhatsApp. Wait, I told the guy, I said, they probably created WhatsApp. What are you talking about? You want me to put WhatsApp on my phone and we're going to discuss business because you think that the FBI, someone told you that they can't get in there? The government can't get into WhatsApp. They must have created it. They must have spread that rumor.
I was watching one of the documentaries. There was two things. One is, remember the old bleep bleep that was the next text or whatever. Somebody thought they couldn't do those because they were CB related. No, they didn't bug them because the FBI used them as well, and they wouldn't bug their own. Not true. And then the other one was that the agents, they didn't make them work nights and holidays, which also wasn't true.
Well, I mean, that's not true either. But the West Side, which is the Genovese family, they did conduct a lot of their business late night, 2, 3 in the morning. I guess for that theory, I mean, it might have worked for a while, but you got to remember something. When you are on their radar and when you're a target, they have crews that'll work around the clock on you. Yeah, so true. If you think they're not sleeping, the daytime agents are sleeping. the night crew got you. So I love look, there's been a lot of ways of trying to, we were outside the cigar lounge one day, and I just always felt they were watching us there and taking pictures of us. Obviously, they were, right? Yeah. And one guy left, and he was just a regular guy that stood in the cigar. There was regular people, too, that stood and had cigars in there. And the guy came back, and I was looking. I said, didn't this guy just leave? And he came and told us that there was a guy in a silver car in the parking lot across the street. He passed him, and he had like a zoom lens. I said, yep. And that's what they do. And, the more that you are visible and make yourself, put yourself out there, you're getting your picture taken. And that's their job. They do their job, Tom. They definitely do their job. And you want to know something? So to wrap it up, they always called me paranoid. And I was, would go the extra mile, park my car and walk to a restaurant, or I would just try to do my best to not make it like I'm giving myself to the government, the FBI.
Correct.
I would make them do their job, right?
Yeah, of course.
So it's like a guy on the run. He don't want to go and knock on the police on the police station door and say, "All right, I'm here." He makes them chase him and catch him, right? So I would go that extra mile because it just, in my mind, maybe I was just fooling myself. It just made me feel that I was just giving myself a little more protection, right? And of course I got, the jokes, and he's paranoid. Oh, everybody's an agent. Oh, he's paranoid. And I said, look, I'm telling you that these wakes are killing us. We they shouldn't have us going to these wakes. Maybe
send the wives. With all the respect,
pick. I even said, like, maybe pick a like out of a crew, like one guy goes and then we switch, and maybe the next week another guy goes. Like we as a representative of our crew, and like I told you, the Gambinos, they stopped going to wakes. They were smart, right?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, what do you think? All my surveillance pictures that I was shown of myself, where do you think they were?
A wake
they were me
funeral.
Coming in out of wakes. So when they were calling me paranoid, oh, you're paranoid. Well, I wasn't paranoid. I knew these people were out there.
Yeah.
They were out there and they were doing their job. And sure enough, I can't even tell you the amount of surveillance pictures from wakes that they possess to this day.
Interesting.
It's and you know what, Tom? People will listen to this podcast, and there'll be guys listening to it, and they'll still go to the wakes. Yeah, just like they're still talking on the phone.
I love it. I love it, John. You've been super generous with your time. We're continuing because I can talk to John forever. Part 4 will be available shortly. Check out sitdownnews.com, and then put your questions below. I'm thinking, John, next part 4, we're going to take a little easier on you, and we'll look through all the questions, and I'll compile them before we get on.
Yeah, sure.
Because there's a lot of interest, and I think both already over 10,000 views, and I didn't spend a dime on promoting. So there's an interest, there's an appetite for it. And John, listen, as always, thank you for being on the New Theory Podcast. Check Sit Down News, and John will do part 4 shortly.
Okay. I hope everybody stays healthy and enjoy this Christmas shopping. And once again, wear your mask because things are bad out there.
That's right.
All right.
John.